G'day guys, my name's Nick and this is my channel Low Range Nick, where I do videos about full driving, accessory fitting and maintenance for your full drive vehicle. So in today's video, it's time for me to fit some roof racks for the MU-X. So I need a bit more storage space when we go camping and full driving to put the bigger items like our gazebo and our bed and that sort of thing. So I'll show you guys exactly how to carry out the job. I'll show you guys the roof rack I've chosen and how to install it. So there is a couple of different variants, whether you have the LST model, LSU or LSM. So the LST already has factory rails, so you'll probably get a different kit. This video suits the people that have LSM and LSU, so models without the rails, because today we're going to rivet in some new rails to the roof so we can put our roof racks on. Okay guys, so this is the roof rack system that I've chosen. So it's a Yakima LockNLoad roof rack system. So basically what this comes with, the whole kit, is a rail. So these rails mount on either side of your roof. They rivet into the roof. And then your roof racks can be mounted anywhere within that rail. So you can position them wherever you need, depending on the type of accessories and things you're going to be carrying on your roof. They also have like a little tie-down lash on each end of the roof rack, which is quite handy, so you can just tie straight over from each end of the roof rack as well. It's quite lightweight, but it can also carry a very good capacity, so I think it's around 100 kilograms. So it does always pay to check the manufacturer's roof load rating and also the roof rack load rating, and make sure you don't exceed either of those. So this is going to be perfect for carrying the gazebo, the tent, our bed, max tracks and a shovel. It's going to be easily able to carry that amount of weight on the roof. So the kit comes with everything you need. So it comes with all the nuts, bolts, washers, keys for the locking ends on the roof rails, in case you want to remove them. It also comes with all the little spacers. It even comes with all the rivets for the roof, so to rivet the rail to the roof. And it also comes with the drill bit that you need, and the little extension for a riveting gun as well. So you got to have a riveting gun that can reach down into those holes. So I've got an electric one I'm going to use, which I borrowed from work, which should do the trick. So the main reason I've chosen these roof rails over, say, a platform is aerodynamics. So it's going to use more fuel having a roof platform on. The 3 bars are quite aerodynamic. They're not going to put much drag on the roof of the vehicle. Also wind noise, so these are going to be a lot quieter than a full roof rack or a platform, because they are, like I said, more aerodynamic. Weight, so they're going to be a lot lighter. Just this 3-bar system is going to be a lot lighter than a roof platform. And also price, so I think these were $650 for the whole kit. So that's the main reason I've chosen the roof racks over a platform system. I think for my needs, the roof racks suit my needs perfectly. So let's get stuck into the install. So the first step to the installation is to clean the roof and clean the channels. So I've cleaned off the roof and I was just giving it a bit of a blowout there with the leaf blower, just to get rid of any of the little leaves that are stuck down in this rail. And I was also using a little card as well, just to sort of pick those leaves out and make sure there's no crap left in that rail, because when we install the roof rail system to this, it goes directly over the top of the rubber trim. So the first step after cleaning the roof is to measure 370 millimeters from the very front of the windscreen trim, and put a mark. I'm going to use a marker and put a mark onto the little rubber trim here. So 370 mils. So I've just put a mark here on either side, so that's 370 mils from the windscreen to here. And that is where our rail is going to sit. So now it's time to install the rails to the vehicle. So there's a rectangular cutout at the back here. So the rectangular cutout on the rail needs to be at the back of the vehicle. And also there is a straight edge or a beveled edge. The straight edge faces out. So rectangle to the rear, straight edge out. So fit the tracks to the correct sides into this track here, the factory roof track, and then I'll just line that up with my mark in the rail there and just make sure that's sitting down correctly. So again, the rectangle goes to the rear, sit it in the track, and then I'll just line it up with my mark here on the front. Perfect, just make sure that's seated in there. Nice, cool. So now it's time for us to go along and mark all of the holes. But before that, I'm going to get my tape measure and I'm going to double check the measurements on the back side and on the front side and make sure that they are both perfectly square and perfectly even on the roof. I'm just going to go along now and mark all my holes. Rightio, so I've drilled all my holes, put all my rust preventative through all of these holes in the roof. Now I can rip this off. I've let it dry for a couple of minutes. And then we can get stuck into installing those rails. So to seal the holes up in the roof, I'm going to be using a Sikaflex 227 fast curing automotive sealant. So this is great for windscreens, trims, like we're doing today, roof rack holes, all that sort of thing. So it's really good, fast drying, and it never lets any water through. You know, it's a really good quality sealant. So that's the main thing. It's a good quality automotive sealant, and it's going to stop any water or contaminants from going through these roof holes I've just drilled. So I'll put this in the caulking gun, go around, put a dab in each of these holes I've drilled through the roof, and then we can get on with fitting the rails and riveting them to the roof. So I've got both those end caps in, I've got the rectangle to the back. Now I can just sit this rail into the roof rail here. And just gently line it up. And now we can put our rivets through and rivet this to the roof. Perfect, so I've got all my rivets in and they all line up really well. Got my rectangle towards the back, I've got these end caps clipped in the correct way. So now I need to tighten them down or rivet them down in a certain way. So you need to start from the middle. You need to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 and so on. So you need to work your way from the inside out so it evenly pulls that track down and then down on the edges. So we'll get stuck into that now. That's tightened down really nice and even. So now I'm going to do the other side exactly the same way. So now both those rails are riveted to the roof. I just went over again where all the rivets are and just put a little bit of sealant on the top of all those rivets just to stop any water going down into the roof. So now the hard bit of the job's done. Both those are mounted. I just need to make some racks up, slide them both in, put them into position, and then we'll be set. Alright guys, so I got one bar on the roof. So I'll show you guys quickly how you assemble it. So you pretty much grab out one of your bars. This is how it comes. So got an extra little bit of rubber there. So we've got to get these two end caps off. So we pretty much just get our drill, zip out the two screws in the end caps. Aside, so pop the two end caps out, just like that. Put these aside. Now we need to flip the rail over and slide out these little rubber inserts. So we put these aside for later. Put these aside. Now we need to build our legs. So in here we've got a bunch of legs. So we get two legs out for this rail, and we will need the key. Wherever I put that. Key. You need the key. You take the covers off the ends, like so. Put these aside. Take this cover off. That one aside. And now in our other box, we've got some little metal inserts. We've got some bolts, and we need some washers as well. So you got a bolt spring washer. We get two of those. And then we go through the top of this. Our bolt through the bottom. Just put it in 1 or 2 threads because we've got to slide it into the bottom of the rail. So 1 or 2 threads just in, and then we need to take our rail. And we need to put this into the base of our roof rail, so it slides in like that. And we'll do the same to the other side. There we go. Now we just position these roughly where we think, and then we need to put it on the roof, into the rail. So we'll sit it into the rail on both sides, and then we'll get our even measurement on either side. Nip one of these up, and then pull the rail off and put our rubbers back in. With 678 between the middle of the rack. down a bit. Let's check this other one. There we go. So now that's evenly spaced. Now I'll just double check the end measurements. There we go, that's perfect. Cool. So now I've got that lined up, I'm just going to nip up one of these with my fingers. I'll nip up the other side as well, and then we'll pull this rail off. So now my measurements are the same on the roof. I'll just quickly double check them here with a tape measure. And that's spot on, that's perfect. So what I can do now is tighten down these with a ratchet. So they only need to be, I think it's 7 Newton meters. Cool. Now we need to just trim up these little rubber inserts that go into this side and also into the other side. And then we just put our end caps back on, so these two, and put our screws in, and then we're ready to fit into the roof. So in the kit you get these little metal brackets, so they just slide in here, and just slide them along to where you need them. So I'll put these in both sides. And now the kit comes with a thin spacer and a thick spacer. So for the MU-X you have a thick spacer at the front, thin in the middle and a thick at the back. It just sits in like that, and I'll do the same to the other side. So now we're right to lift our rack onto the roof. So the measurements should be pretty good. My other one just dropped straight in, so we'll see how we went with this one. Now I'm not too sure how the gap is, so we'll just have to measure that. Oh, look at that, so it just drops straight in, perfect. So that's perfect. There we go, that's perfect. So I'll just get my long 10mm bolts. So these are actually the shorter ones, so I'll give you some longer ones for these front and rear ones with the bigger spacers. So I'll put these in, get them started on both sides, and then I'll be able to tighten them down. So you just put a spring washer and a washer on these, and then that'll tighten up. I think they recommend 5 Newton meters, so it's not overly tight. So now I've got the front rail and the middle rail on. I'm just going to finish off this back rail, and I'll bring you guys back at the end and show you the finished product. Well, there you go guys, so the roof rack install is all finished. So I've riveted my rails in, cleaned up the holes, you know, siliconed them, painted them, allowed that to set, and now I've fitted all my 3 rails, evenly spaced. So now I'm ready to chuck some stuff on the roof and get out there adventuring. So in the end of each rail you've actually got a little bottle opener. So if you wanted, because you have 6 ends, you could have 6 people opening their bottles at once. Just another positive of the Yakima roof racks. So I'll give you a bit of a view from the front so you can see what it looks like. So there's a bit of a view from the front of what it looks like. So you can see the 3 rails there. They're all evenly mounted, and there's heaps of storage space up there for you know, my gazebo, our tent, the bed, all that sort of thing. So it's really easy to tie down as well. So they're pretty smart how they've designed the ends. So it's actually a little tie down loop here. So you can tie down through the end of the roof rack on each of the racks and just lash straight across to the other side. So it's pretty damn easy. to tie stuff down to these roof racks, and it's I think it's a pretty good design actually. So what I'm going to do now, guys, is just measure the height of the car. So because I've added those roof racks, it's added another 10 centimeters or just over 10 centimeters to the height of the car. So I'm just going to measure it just so I know what sort of car parks I can actually go in without ripping them off. So the back one's probably 197 to the top of the rail. So there you go, guys. So from the ground to the top of the roof rails, it's about 197 centimeters at the back, which is the highest. So it's actually not sitting that much higher than the little shark fin for the radio antenna. So that's pretty good. It's only really raised it above the shark fin a couple of centimeters. So I'll still be able to fit into 2.1 meter car parks without any dramas. So there you go, guys. The roof rack install's finished. So it was quite an easy install actually. I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. So it just takes a little bit of time to get everything done properly, it all sealed up properly and that sort of thing. But overall it's quite an easy install and definitely something that you guys can do at home yourself. So thanks a lot for watching, guys. If you haven't followed me on the social media pages, jump across to Facebook and Instagram and follow me at Low Range Nick, and you can see updates regularly on what's going on, where we've been, our trips, what's happening to the MUX and all that sort of thing. So jump over there, guys, and check it out. So thanks a lot for watching, guys. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and stay tuned for more full driving and accessory fitting videos. Cheers, guys.